Community Legacy Grant Application. Jennifer Kinzer, you guys please introduce yourself in the matter.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jennifer Kinzer, Deputy Director, Department of Planning and Zoning.
Karsten Ahrens, Office of Grant Management.
Good morning.
Good morning. The Department of Planning and Zoning is requesting a motion to submit a grant application to and accept funding awarded from the Department of Housing and Community Development's Community Legacy Grant Program on behalf of Cascade Properties, LLC. This request is for $800,000 to assist with the costs for Phase 1 of rehabilitating Building 603 to facilitate future development on the former Fort Ritchie property. As part of the continuing efforts in the Fort Ritchie redevelopment project, Cascade Properties intends to rehabilitate Building 603 and convert it into a boutique hotel at historic Fort Ritchie, which will provide a new location for overnight lodging in the Fort Ritchie Cascade Sustainable Communities area. The rehabilitation of this 30,000 square foot building will pay homage to the fort's historic past and will be another significant addition into Fort Ritchie's revival. This project will be completed in 2 phases. The cost estimate for Phase 1 is just over $1.6 million, with the total cost amount just over $3.2 million. If funding is awarded, the county will enter into a subrecipient agreement with Cascade Properties in order to subgrant the funds and to outline each party's roles and responsibilities related to the project. The grant does not require any matching fund contributions from the county, and any remaining balance on the project will be the responsibility of Cascade Properties. Any questions?
Commissioners, comments, questions, motion?
Where's the grant, where's the grant come from again?
We have first, sorry, we have a motion. Do you want to withdraw your motion, or somebody want to make a second for discussion?
Second.
Thank you. Now discussion. Thank you, Commissioner Harvey.
So this is coming from?
The Department of Housing and Community Development.
Got it, okay.
Any further questions?
No.
I have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Moving on to item 7, Hopewell Road property acquisition. Todd Moser, please introduce yourself in the matter.
Good morning, Commissioners. Todd Moser, Real Property Administrator, Division of Engineering. This is for the Hopewell Road property acquisition. Move to approve the option agreement for partial property acquisition, including fee simple and easements for 10833 Hopewell Road and parcel 704 Lot 1 on Hopewell Road in Williamsport, and approve an ordinance approving said purchase and to authorize the execution of the necessary documentation to finalize the acquisition. Option agreement has been executed for the above-mentioned properties. Fee simple and easement acquisitions are shown in the table below. 10833 Hopewell Road, 943 square feet in fee simple, 4,869, and easements. Acquisition cost $2,290. Parcel 704, Lot 1, 1,754 square feet perpetual easement, 3,146 square feet temporary construction easement. This is for a culvert replacement on Hopewell Road and road realignment of Wright Road to raise the road out of the floodplain.
Commissioners, comments, questions?
Does that Wright Road, what we're abandoning, does that disappear completely? Is the road surface removed?
There's a portion, a small portion of it that will be.
Will it? Okay. But there's no confusion with regards to its.
No, there's going to be a circle at the end of Wright Road. Where there's currently a culvert. There'll be a turnaround there.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
A first and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4-0. Moving on. Thank you. Moving on to number 8. I think you're back. Please introduce yourself in the matter.
Todd Moser, Real Property Administrator, Division of Engineering. This is for acceptance of real property, declaration of surplus property, and intent to convey real property for the Chase 6 Boulevard project. Move to approve the acceptance of real property conveyance from the Washington County Board of Education concerning property consisting of plus or minus 1.61 acres located on the eastern margin of Maryland Route 66, also known as Mapleville Road, to adopt the ordinance declaring the property as surplus, to approve conveyance of the same, and to authorize execution of the necessary documentation to finalize conveyance for zero consideration to the town of Boonsboro and SHA. The Board of County Commissioners previously approved a MOU between the county, BOE, and Town of Boonsboro on May 20th, 2025 for the transfer of real property. County's sole purpose and intent in accepting the transfer of the proposed surplus property is to act as a pass-through entity to facilitate transfer of proposed surplus property to the Town of Boonsboro and BOE for Chase 6 Boulevard project. The Chase 6 Boulevard project and Campus Avenue realignment is expected to increase vehicle and pedestrian safety around the campus.
Commissioners, comments, motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Have first and a second. Any further discussion?
Just that this is an important project for the school system and the city of Boonsboro because it really is a safety and traffic management issue for the high school and middle school there.
Yes, indeed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Moving on to item 9, welcome back, Mr. Moser. Please introduce the subject.
Todd Moser, Property Administrator, Division of Engineering.
Andrew Eshelman, Director of Public Works.
And this is the Fort Ritchie Cell Tower lease. Move to approve the lease and to authorize the execution of the necessary documentation to finalize the lease agreement. Vertical Bridge presented the county with a proposed lease extension consisting of 5 additional 5-year renewal periods beginning in February 2034. Vertical Bridge entered into a lease agreement with Fort Ritchie 1 LLC to place their cell tower on Fort Ritchie property in 2008. The new lease agreement, Second Amendment to land lease agreement, would commence in 2034 and have a $300 increase with the continued 3% annual escalation. County staff has no other use for the property, and property taxes, maintenance, and utilities are covered by the tenant.
Commissioners, questions, comments?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Have a first and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Number 10 item, Memorandum of Understanding, Eastern Panhandle. Mr. Molinax, welcome. Jill, welcome. Please introduce yourselves in the matter.
Good morning, Commissioners. Matt Molinax with the Hagerstown Eastern Panhandle Metropolitan Planning Organization.
Good morning, Jill Baker, Director of the Department of Planning and Zoning. What we've brought here before you today is a memorandum of understanding between the Washington County Board of County Commissioners and the Region 9 Planning Authority in West Virginia. Our MPO is a tri-state MPO, and it does regional work for us that we would need to have done in order to receive federal, state grants for transportation projects throughout our community. They provide an invaluable service to us. As part of the setup of this organization, because we are not forward funded, we are a reimbursement-based organization through the grant. The HEP MPO staff are actually employees of the Region 9 Planning Authority and follow under their insurance and benefits and all of that kind of stuff. So what happens is they forward fund the money by paying the bills, paying the salaries, the taxes, the benefits and so forth, and then they are reimbursed on a quarterly basis when we do our quarterly reimbursements for the federal grant. So we are seeking an update to that agreement between the two entities so that we can continue this collaborative effort and continue moving our transportation projects forward in the community.
Yeah, as Jill said, so this agreement hasn't been updated in roughly 18 years, and so it's fairly brief, it's fairly boilerplate, but it does provide some needed updates to some of the language, as well as more clearly states some of the delineation of duties, as well as outlines a process for an annual review.
Commissioners, any comments? Questions? Motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Have first and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 11, Washington County Transit. Gentlemen, please come forward, introduce yourselves.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Matt Mullinax with the Hagerstown Eastern Panhandle MPO.
Troy Truax, Michael Baker International Consultant to HEPMO as well as the county. Andrew Eshelman, Director of Public Works. We're here for informational purposes. I'd like to recognize Matt and the HEPMO staff as well as Michael Baker, who really took the lead in funding and doing the bulk of the work regarding this study. This study looked at Washington County Transit's current and future facility administrative needs through the year 2050. We're going to go through a little bit of a presentation here led by Troy, but a little bit of an overview. On the screen there is the current admin and maintenance facility, which was acquired by the county in 1974, was last renovated in 2009, and is at full capacity. So the study looked at the facility needs and provided a conceptual design and site layout for future expansion. We also use this as the basis for the MDOT Washington County Transit build, better utilizing investments to leverage development federal grant application that the board supported a few months ago. And again, if awarded, the first phase of that was for design funding. The full study can be found on HEPMO's website, includes a lot of information as well as attachments and supporting documentation. So we're happy to turn it over to Troy, and he'll provide a brief overview of the work.
Okay, good morning, thank you. I assume this is, as Andrew said, the study was conducted to evaluate the approximately about 1.7 acre parcel at 1000 West Washington Street, which is the headquarters for Washington County Transit. This facility actually is a reuse of the former Chevrolet dealership building. So the county has made great use of the facility under the circumstances of using it for a transit administration, bus storage, bus maintenance, and also some training operations. The constrained site, given the fact that the county's transit operations are expanding according to its transit development plan, which has to be updated every 5 years by FTA requirements, it's expected to increase its ridership by 30% to 2030. So the basis of our study was to evaluate the growing needs of the transit facility. Could this 1.7 acre parcel accommodate what we believe the needs would be? So our study looked at what are the needs going out to the year 2050 based on the transit development plan, based upon extensive work with staff to evaluate their staff, evaluate their numbers, their ridership, et cetera. Again, Hagerstown Eastern Panhandle MPO paid for the study. Michael Baker is an on-call consultant for transportation services, and they allowed us to work on this project through that contract. And again, the study is available on the website for more information with that. Sorry if I can get this to work right. So some of the existing operation challenges, again, very constrained site. All the current office space is occupied. There's no room for additional expansion. So any additional staff needs, administrative training, what have you, there's no room, no office space to place those individuals. The conference room, which is extremely small and undersized, also doubles as a training room. So again, there's really no opportunity for expansion or nowhere else to put that space. Service slice of vehicles, paratransit vehicles are currently stored outside. So you think about the weather, heat, cold, et cetera. It often works hard on those vehicles, so an asset management is a challenge. On-site gasoline refueling is not available other than what's available there in terms of just a single dispensary pump. Also, portable washing, there's no real current washing system. That's one thing about asset management, keeping the bus clean, the vehicles clean on a regular basis. One of the most challenging parts of this project, and we really thank the cities for their cooperation, is that the site is divided by a public alleyway owned by the city. Currently now, we went through the quitclaim process. The county now owns the portion of the alleyway. What was happening after the maintenance of the vehicles, wash of the vehicles after the end of the day of service, they'd have to cross the alleyway
and it was a blind kind of crossing. You'd have to pull the nose out of the bus out into the alleyway before the driver can actually look left and right and see if any cars were coming. So thankfully, there was no issues in terms of historical issues that we were aware of, but certainly from an FTA standpoint, does not propose a very safe access or movement of those vehicles. Then doubling the issue with there is that because they actually had to navigate those buses on public streets, they are required to have drivers having CDL license just to move the bus from point A to point B. So that's another cost incurrence. So again, this project is very important from a cost savings, asset management, et cetera. So this slide shows what the current square footage are broken down by component of use in the building. As you can see, the needs of square footage in the middle column. And then you can see the only thing that's met right now is the vehicle parking, and that the only reason why that is met is because the city code changed from the last time they looked at parking requirements. So if we look at the actual space needs, the current is 48 spaces. That's based upon the previous code of the city back up, I think 1989, when this facility was actually built and constructed to service its purpose. And right now, there's only a need of 27 to 36 spaces required. And most of those are available because you have surface parking inside the site. Again, what we're trying to do is look at the facility in terms of expanding to provide indoor storage, additional maintenance facility, and that's really critical for the project. This is the site, oriented from north to south. At the top, you'll see green. Certainly, we have to abide by stormwater management. So when this site was previously built, we didn't have to worry about stormwater management. Now we do. So we had to accommodate a lot of things in addition to use. So the green area is where we proposed, and this is the proposed expansion. This is the alternative that we actually came up with that we feel would work well. Then what you see in blue is an expansion. I don't have my glasses on. Quick. Of, help me out, Andrew. What was the number? 27,000 square feet of additional space. I believe that blue box, that's where the additional proposed building. That's the new building. I think it's about 27,000 square feet is going to be added on to the existing. And you can see that actually in the middle between where the blue joins the magenta and the two browns, that is the alleyway that was quitclaimed back to the county's ownership. So half of the alley on the left is still public alleyway. Hats off to the property owners, especially Jehovah's Witnesses. We went through a lot of work of negotiating property changes there. City was great to work with, so we really hats off. It was all hands on deck to make this challenging project work in terms of a feasibility, positive outcome. And then you can see then too what we're also evaluating is some additional internal rearrangement to make sure that we're getting the administration space, the conference room space, all the other staff and administration, but also more importantly, we're getting those vehicles inside the building for indoor storage, et cetera. So our next steps, I think Andrew mentioned, we're currently the county with MTA's help has a an FHWA build grant application. We were anticipating that June 28th would be the notification of award, but talking with Matt again this morning, we're not hopeful that the DC will actually come out with any award announcements at that time. But we're still hopeful. Again, the quitclaim ordinance has been enacted. The deed is in hand. And then the lot consolidation plan to actually, ironically too, the lot was divided into multiple parcels. So we went through a lot consolidation process. That lot consolidation plan is completed, pending recordation here at the county. And then also too, the county will continue to work with its partners, the MPO and MTA, on further funding sources to move this project to basically full design, preliminary engineering design, full design, and then construction funds. And that's literally what they're working on in terms of programming dollars. So hopefully that was informative, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Commissioners' thoughts? This was for informational purposes only. I want to thank you for your detailed report. Commissioners, anything else? No. Hearing none, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next
What
up,
that means is the report was very good, and you had all the questions already anticipated because the answers already anticipated as you put them in the report. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
thank you. Next up, item 12, the Community Free Clinic Charity Tournament License Agreement.
Andrew Eshelman, Director of Public Works. I'm here seeking a motion to approve the license agreement with the Community Free Clinic to use Board of County Commissioner-owned property at 520 Western Maryland Parkway in Hagerstown for a charity tournament. A little bit of history, the Community Free Clinic has hosted an annual mud volleyball charity tournament, and for many years, this was at the Hagerstown Regional Airport, and the county leased property out there to host. However, due to some recent permitting issues at the airport, we thought that was going to be very challenging to happen this year, and so we collaboratively looked at alternate locations. Multiple sites were considered and reviewed, and the one that came to the top was the recently purchased property out at 520, 540 Western Maryland Parkway, specifically 520, which is undeveloped land, and it has suitable additional parking, availability for the event date, and the facility requirements to host. This year would be the 25th anniversary of the Mud Volleyball Tournament, and it's a major fundraiser for the Free Clinic.
Commissioner Klein.
Point of order, Mr. Porter, you've been asked to leave. You have a letter of no trespassing. Will you please leave? Seeing no action, we're going to recess. Clear the room.